Radio Matt tries his best.
What's up, everybody? I got a lot of folks in chat. Some of the buds, some of the gang, some of the crew, some of the Discord fam. Thray, Toffee, Kiwi, Oriole. Glad to have you all here. So, as a bit of a catch up, if you aren't aware, about a month ago, maybe a little over a month ago, I was fiddling around with the Nerd Cred redemptions, and I found out you can do something called a community redemption, where you set like this big goal and people can contribute to it, their Nerd Cred. Instead of, redeeming it for other things, they can donate this Nerd Cred. And so I'm like, oh, that's fun. I want to do one. So the first thing that came to my mind was a studio tour for LTN Radio for 5,000 Nerd Cred, which I believe is correct, that 4,500 of that came from Toffee. But it was done really quickly. I think it took 2 weeks and it was redeemed. And then it's been almost a month and I still haven't done it. Time has not permitted. But here's the rub. Number one, the studio's really small, so it's not really going to take all that long. Number two, the studio is not that glamorous. And number three, I came to quickly realize that I can't really stream it at the same time as chatting with you back and forth, because I can't move my camera all around the place and still be on Twitch. So what I have done is I have actually recorded the walkthrough and me explaining everything about it, and I'll be muting my mic and I'll be playing that pre-recorded video while talking to you in chat and answering any questions that you might have. It's not going to take too terribly long. I think it's a 20-minute tour at the most. So you're going to get to learn about every little bit and piece in here and kind of see from the different perspectives. But again, it's a room, so you're not going to get blown away. But I do have some fun stories and explanations behind some of the stuff that you've seen behind us and all that kind of stuff. One thing I didn't share in the video is that, but I think I mentioned it quite a few times in normal passing. We record in a church. This is actually my church office. I'm the media director at my home church. But most of the work that I do media-wise is done down in the sound booth. And so I have an office, and this is what I use it for streaming. But let's dive in. I do show the Dundee, and I explain everything about it. John, welcome to the party. So I'm going to push play on this thing right here, and I'm going to turn off my mic, but I will be chatting with you in the little chat box here. I made this whole new overlay just for you guys, just for today. So if you have any questions, go ahead, feel free to ask, and I will answer them best I can. All right, here we go. In 3, a 2, a 1. All right, so first of all, this right here is a full shot of the studio. It's not really that exciting. You see, this really nice backdrop from behind the camera. Really, you see less and less of that every time we update our overlays, but this is what we see. We see some empty chairs, a bunch of cords, cables and junk everywhere. That's a window that we had to cover up, and even then still doesn't block out all the noise. Those foam panels, there need to be a lot more of those. We just bought a pack. Anyway, this is what we see from our end. Here's the computers and our screen. There's our microphones and whatnot. These are very nice microphones, pretty expensive ones that were sent to us from Low Thy Nerd, as well as that beautiful mixer right there. It's a Zoom PodTrack P8, and it is glorious. But we'll get to all the little trinkets and stuff that are over there in a minute. But let's start. Oh, by the way, this used to be a youth pastor's office, so there's a bunch of old books and Bible studies and junk back here. But anyway, over here, we've got our games. So first off, this is the first game Mo and I ever made, Judge Not. Christian game with specs and planks. It's quite beautiful. We've come out with several expansion packs over the years. Who's opening up a prayer with, "Hey Daddy." Tag your friends. Oh gosh. We made some expansion packs. We've pretty much finished this game. It's a glorious game. Then another one that never quite took off was Church Flicks. We started this with an idea. It kind of plays similar to Cards Against Humanity, except you're building a Christian script. And it just, I don't know. I like it, but I couldn't really get anybody excited about it, which kind of bums me out. But here's our love right now. Sunday School Answers, guys. Oh, it's beautiful. So you buy this initial main deck, and that's how it starts. It's already nearly full. It's about a little over 2/3 full with cards. But we left room specifically for expansions. And the first expansion was the meme deck, which we did in conjunction with Authorized Memes James. The superhero deck, which we did with Faith and Fandom. And then Mo and I put together the food deck for the Back Row Morning Show. So those are our first 3 decks. We have several more ideas in the works, but we have one that we're actively working on. It's going to be a little bigger. These are all like standard decks. I think they're 50 cards each, with 10 new dilemmas and 40 new answers based on the theme. But we're doing one actually in conjunction with Love Thy Nerd. And so we're going to have the Nerd deck coming out pretty soon. Maybe not as soon as we'd like. We're trying to make it a little bit bigger. It's probably going to be closer to 70 cards, maybe 90, depending on responses and whatnot. But we've got a lot in the works already. It's going to be a good deck. We're excited for it. So here's a little bit of lore. It's the the 2M championship title belt. And there's me and there's Mo with that old Bitmoji style. This, of course, is an old WWE Championship toy title belt. This is what Mo and I competed for the longest time. On our, I guess we started doing this on our YouTube show, our short-lived YouTube show. We started using this because we were still kind of doing the podcast at the same time, and the podcast had the actual Back Row Championship title belt. But we eventually combined them both when we moved into the morning show format. The rest of the stuff that's on here is just decoration stuff that's not really ours. All right, the Laughing Jesus picture. Joey and I talked about this when he was on the show a while back, a couple weeks ago. This was one of the original set pieces, original frame and everything from the show Joey and I were going to do together on YouTube. It was going to be the Back Row show, the Back Row with Matt and Joey. And so this is one of the pieces behind us. We didn't have a lot of set pieces. We had this, we had a cross, a couple big letters from Hobby Lobby. But this is one of the things. This is the only thing I think that's still carried over from then that we have. And then we got the Dundee Award, and that is very special to John and I, because John, myself, Hillary, John's wife, and Deidre, my wife, we were on a team. We were called, what were we called? We were called Prison Mike and the Dementors. Prison Mike and the Dementors in an office trivia challenge at a coffee shop called Blackwater here in our town. And not only did we win and destroy every other team, but we did not get a single answer wrong that entire night. I was very, very proud of that. Fun story, the guy leading it, his name's Rafer Owens, the guy who was running it kept what appeared to be accidentally using setups for That's What She Said. And they had a secret contest going that night to say which team actually yelled out, "That's what she said," the most inappropriate times. And I was doing it every time I heard him say something. And my team was so embarrassed by me, they made me stop. Only to find out that there would have been a prize at the end. The prize itself was underwhelming. It was literally a stapler and Jell-O. But still, it would have been fun to walk away with both prizes. These things are from Walmart. They're tap color, LED color things, and they're pretty garbage. I'm gonna say they're pretty garbage. They take 3 AAA batteries a piece, and they last, I don't know, less than 10 hours total. So you got to be changing these out pretty much every other week, to the point where I've kind of stopped doing it, and I'll eventually take them off the wall. This dope sign right here, this was given to me by Mo. I believe it was a birthday present. I don't quite remember. I think it was a late birthday present. Like, she found it at Hobby Lobby long after my birthday and said, "Hey, here you go." But I love it. I say this word too much. Maybe less now, but back when I got it, I said it all the time. I love it. It's one of those carryovers from the 90s that I still have. The word dope. Dope, super dope. This is a, well, it's hard to see. Back up a bit. This is our LTN radio signage, which of course, you know, it's, especially up close, you can see it's all wrinkly and it's 4 separate pieces of paper with hodgepodge over it. It was not professionally made by any means necessary. These are actually pretty nice. These signs that we have. We got one for 2 words, we got one for the Back Row Morning Show, and the radio Matt tries his best one is moved to my house, in my new studio, with all my pops and everything up on the wall that y'all saw in our last Among Us video. But these are really good looking signs, and they're super cheap because they're actually made of the same material they use for like political yard signs. You know, that just like that kind of plastic, almost corrugated plastic thing. It's really, I mean, they're really nice. I think they're each like $10 or less. They're not super expensive at all. All right, let's move on. Oh, I forgot to show you that right there. For those of you who don't know, I have a, oh, can I see it in the picture? I have a tattoo. There you go. White Lantern tattoo. I've been a big fan of the White Lantern storyline in DC Comics. The Blackest Night and Brightest Day storyline. It's a beautiful story, and it really does have a lot of Christian connotation, especially when it comes to how God can use you no matter your past, no matter your, you know, sins, your history and all that, how he can take all that and still build something new and beautiful and do good work with it. I won't spoil the entire thing for you because it's actually a story I think you should still go back and read, the Blackest Night story. But essentially, the kind of religious entity at the end of the book raises 12 people from the dead, and they're heroes and they're villains, both, but they've been given new life and a new purpose to help save the world. And I think that is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story, especially the fact that it's not just dead heroes that were risen and given a new purpose, but heroes and villains both. And not all of them do it perfectly, but some of them do. But this was actually made for me for Christmas this year by John. Like, John painted this thing for me. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I think he did a perfect job. And of course, John 1:5, the light shines in the darkness. It's just fantastic. It's fantastic. It's eventually going to just move back to my studio at home so it can be on screen all the time. But I absolutely love it. All right, let's move over here. Back when we were a starting out podcast, we had the back Rofi, which was a cheap trophy with a little Sonic tot in it. But eventually we wanted to get good, y'all. So we got, hey, you can see me in the reflection. We got the back row, the undisputed back row championship title belt. You'll see how it says back row on it. Microphone. Beautiful. Beautiful made design. It cost us like $175, which is not bad for, especially for the quality. The fake leather is fantastic. The colors are vibrant, and the belts are beautiful. Eventually, of course, John and I started the Two Words podcast, and it's about wrestling, so we had to have our own version of this. And so we got the Two Words podcast championship title belt. It's got LTN and 2, and then microphone that's supposed to imply words, and the other LTN on there. It's could use a little cleaning, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and we love it. And currently, I hold both of these, I believe. I'm Matty 2 belts right now. Oh, get on there. Okay, there we go. All right, what else we got? Cheap light box that I got for Christmas, but it works. Old telephone. I don't know if you can see this. Oh, I can't even lift it off the thing. How long has it been sitting here? Old telephone. It's like a rotary dialer. Oh, can you see it? I don't know if you can see it or not. Rotary dialer phone. But it has been sitting on this. Oh gosh, there we go. Super heavy. Oh my gosh, it's so dang heavy. Oh, that's satisfying though. Ooh. I like that. Oh my gosh. Did you hear that? Did you hear how heavy that was? I've never picked that up. I've only shifted it. Oh man. Here's the up close look at that other side. Whoop, sorry. The back row morning show. It's beautiful. I'll put that up here for now. What else we got? We got a lot of junk on this table, I understand. Back off me. This is the back row morning show. The back row with Matt and Mo, the BR2M. That was our hashtag, by the way. That's what we used for the hashtag on social media back then. Barf bucket, because a lot of our shows required gross or super hot food, so we kept that barf bucket going. We got this picture. Whoopsies. This picture, beautiful picture of St. Chris of the Two Hernias. For those of you who don't know the story, Chris Gwaltney here is the chief executive nerd, I believe is his title. He's the CEO of Love Thy Nerd. He's the top guy, the top dog. And he recently, a few months ago, had 2 hernias. Just I don't know how they happened, but he had them. And that knocked him off his feet for a long time. And so they were doing a staff meeting, and of course almost everything that he did, he had to be lying down on the couch for. So he's lying down on this couch in the staff meeting, the Zoom call, or Discord call, and someone screenshot that. One of the staff members screenshot the whole Zoom call, everybody in it, saying, we're hard at work. It wasn't to make fun of Chris or anything. But I looked at Chris, and I looked at his expression, which it just immediately reminded me of some of those old like saint paintings where they're not smiling. It's this kind of just neutral face, and they're never looking at the camera or the painter. They're always looking aside. You don't even know really what they're looking at. And the fact that he had his hoodie on like that made it look like a cloak, a robe. This little piece of blanket that he has looks like the sash of a robe. I added this little cheap looking flower. I added this like halo thing. And I just posted this picture saying St. Chris of the Two Hernias blesses the stream. And it just came out so well. And they loved it. Chris loves it. We made it into a GIF that says St. Chris blesses this post on it. It's one of my favorite things I've created, and I think it's earned me a few points in Chris's eyes. I think they use that as his official photo for his stream schedule as well. This is a LTN Coolie, the original one with the main colors, and it's beautiful and I love it. A lot of other junk here, masks and whatnot, but here is this guy right here is named Trip. He is a triple scoop ice cream cone, and this was the mascot for Back Row Radio, which is what LTN Radio used to be for the first 2 years of its existence. Back Row Radio, we had started our own thing. We've told the story on the show multiple times, so I don't need to tell you the whole thing. But we love Trip. Mo and I might have been the only people that really loved Trip, at least on our side here. Everybody else thought he was weird looking. But it was cool. We had a professional artist make him. I love it. I loved it so much. Still wear this hat from time to time because it's a nice hat. But yeah, we have that. Then we got this, the Kill Radio Mat Invitational 2021 mug. This I put I think it's on Spreadshop. I put a few things from Radio Mat streams on there. Some of the thumbnails and whatnot because they're fun. Not making any money off of them really, but it's just fun stuff. So this is how our setup typically looks from afar. That's our camera right there in front of you. This TV right here is where John and I are typically watching the pay-per-views on Peacock as we react to them. Occasionally we're at his house, but most of the time it's here. And that's the trash can that Mo and I are constantly throwing things into. And with that, that's really the whole spiel. Nothing else in this room really matters. We have this lighting rig right here that we've never used because we only have 2 plugs in the entire room that we have to plug all this other stuff into. And we don't want to overload everything. So that's about it. That's the tour. That's about it. That's the tour. Oh, now I got audio going. Hey, I didn't know it would just turn off when I was done. But shut up, phone. Had to listen through my phone. Echo. Hey, all right. So that was it. As I said, that's it. That's the tour. Not glamorous, not super glamorous, but I hope you enjoyed at least some of the fun little backstory to some of the things. And yeah, there we go. Now, if I do another one of these for my new home studio, that one would take much longer because I got a whole heck ton of stuff back there. And a lot of collectibles. So that might be a goal in the future. Not now though. But I appreciate y'all hanging out. I hope y'all enjoy.
Radio Matt tries his best.